Folks, the Golden State Warriors have some serious problems. We talked about this being a potential trap game. Second night of a back-to-back. No Al Horford facing a young, scrappy, nothing to lose after losing their head coach Trailblazers team, and it turned out to be exactly that. A 20-point loss against this Portland Trailblazers team who gets their first win of the year. Those records are wrong. It's 2-1 for the Golden State Warriors now, 1-1 for the Portland Trailblazers. And like I said, we sort of saw this coming, and this brings up some looming issues for this Warriors team for the rest of the season. The biggest one being there are going to be nights like this where we are starting three guys, an aging Jimmy Butler, an aging Draymond Green, and a 37-year-old Steph Curry on the second night of a back-to-back, and all three of those guys looked tired tonight. Even Steph Curry putting up 35 points in 27 minutes still looked a little sluggish out there defensively, and this brings up some big issues. When the Warriors play these types of games against these younger teams, they are going to run all over us, which is exactly what Portland did in the Moda Center tonight. Ugly performance from Golden State. Absolutely shot in the mouth by the Portland Trailblazers in that second quarter to take a 13-point halftime lead. Deni Avdija, Shaedon Sharpe, every single Portland Trailblazers starter in double digits tonight in a rough performance. There are two sides to this team that we've talked about for the Golden State Warriors. The side where we say, hey, this is a must-win game, and those are the games where you're playing up against the Nuggets or a Lakers and a solid team where you have to prove your value in this league. Then there's these types of games. Must wins in the sense that everyone on the planet expects you to win these games. You're playing against a Portland team that's, yes, young and scrappy, has nothing to lose at this point in the season after losing their head coach, all the drama that's going on. They might as well just play their butts off. Tiago Splitter, hats off to him and the rest of the coaching staff for putting together a good performance tonight. But you talk about this as a sense that, hey, we understand who they are, right? Young, scrappy, fast-paced team, but we're still the better team. You got to find a way to get this one done. And it hurts because you start off 2-0 undefeated after two really good victories against two solid teams. You want to improve to 3-0, see how long you can keep that undefeated streak, stay atop the West. And now we got two more tough games at home against the Grizzlies and the Clippers. We'll see what we can do. Let's hop right into the box score. Before we do, I want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button. Around 2/3 of you guys that watch the videos are not subscribed. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell to turn on notifications, and never miss out on post-game content like this. So, first things first, 119-139 loss for the Golden State Warriors. So much momentum after the first two victories and a late overtime victory over Denver, and that win becomes uberly more important because of this loss tonight. You don't want to be at 1-2 after a night like this. 2-1, so you got to look at it that way, sort of. You got to look at the fact that, yes, it sucks that we lost this game, but hats off to the guys for fighting their butts off last night to get that victory against the Nuggets. Now we have 2 days of rest before getting ready for two home games back-to-back against the Grizzlies and the Los Angeles Clippers. So, Warriors Game 3 takeaways. First thing I already talked about a little bit, age hurts us against young teams. It's obvious that Toumani Camara, Shaedon Sharpe, Blake Wesley, all these young guys for the Trailblazers, Deni Avdija, who looked fantastic tonight, these guys understand that this Warriors team is a slower, like we've always been a fast-paced team. The Warriors have always been a let's get out and transition type organization, but they're also at this point in the careers of the guys on the roster an incredibly half-court based team, right? Let's find a way to set up the sets in the half court, get Steph open threes off of PNR or off the ball screens, and that just didn't necessarily work tonight. Steph ends with 35, but defensively we looked awful. I mean, giving up 140 points essentially to a Portland Trailblazers team. Yes, they're fast-paced. Yes, they hit you in the mouth early, but that can't happen. We can't be giving up 130 plus to a team that is going to be near the bottom of the Western Conference. I predicted them to make the play-in a game this year and potentially make the playoffs after winning a play-in game, but after Chauncey Billups obviously being kicked off of the organization or on leave, whatever you want to say, from the NBA, I thought, hey, now this team doesn't really have anyone in charge. We'll see how they respond. And tonight, you saw them with this mentality of, hey, we're young, we're fast, let's play to our strengths, let's find a way to get this win. And they beat one of the best teams in the Western Conference, and the Golden State Warriors improved to 50-50 on the season, due to the Portland Trailblazers. And, I mean, you got to be happy if you're a Trailblazers fan and as a Warriors fan. This feels like a potential, look ahead to the season, these second nights of back-to-backs. An old roster, right? Like these other teams are just going to... Also, what the heck's going on with this organization having so many back-to-backs over the last couple seasons? We got to play 3 games in 4 days to start the season. It feels like the organization would get more respect than that from the league scheduling, but whatever. It is what it is. Portland gets the win. Number 2, JK looks good. This has been a takeaway from games 1, 2, and 3. I'm still impressed with Jonathan Kuminga and what he's done. Only 24 minutes tonight, and I thought he looked really good. I thought decision-making was great. 3-point shooting ability, looks confident, and I'm impressed with how he's playing. Brandin Podziemski worries me. He looks uninspired offensively through the first couple of games. The confidence, not totally there. One of the worst plus minuses on the team through the first few games, and looks uninterested out there. You want Brandin Podziemski to be a guy who's confident, attacking strong, playing solid defense, drawing charges, which he's already done a couple of to start the season. And he hasn't been awful. Like, he hasn't been bad, but tonight was a game you thought, like, man, it feels like we are a negative having Brandin Podziemski in the game. And I'm still a major believer in the fact that he can be a super good player down the line, and that he still has potential right now to be a fantastic role player. But on nights like tonight, you look at him and you watch the game and you say, wow, Brandin Podziemski hurts us when he's on the floor. Didn't start tonight. Maybe that bumped his confidence down a little bit. But overall, I do believe Brandin Podziemski will bounce back and have a good season. But tonight, the first couple of games, it's been a struggle for him to start the year. Another guy making his season debut tonight, Moses Moody. We talked about him taking a leap this season. We talked about it being a very big year after signing the contract middle of last season, right? You're excited about what Moses Moody can be. And on the times where he was on the floor, it didn't even really feel like he was making any impact on the game. Hit the 1-3, but a couple of turnovers, defensively got exposed a couple of times. Moses Moody, of all the people that should be rested and ready to go for tonight's game, he looked just as lethargic as everybody else on the floor, which is frustrating as a fan. But again, we're 3 games into the season, right? You have to understand that it's early. The guys aren't fully in shape. Like, obviously, you think they should be in shape based on training camp and all that stuff. But you're still getting up to game speed. And after an incredibly long, draining game last night, you expect the guys to be a little tired. You got to hop on a plane, fly to Portland, blah, 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 all that type of stuff. But I do believe that there are some concerning things, and you don't want to overreact too much. But Moses Moody's going to need to bounce back and have some good performances moving forward because he looked unimpressive tonight. Depth can actually be a negative for this team. I mean, when we look at the box score really quickly, I'll note on Steph. Again, 30 points, 35 points in 27 minutes. Steph looked excellent tonight. 7 of 14 from 3, 12 of 22 from the field, 45% from the field, 50% from 3, and hit all his free throws. Like, this guy's doing incredible things to start the season. Scoring 35 points in 27 minutes is ridiculous. He's averaging over 2 points a minute, essentially, over the last 40 minutes of basketball that he's played so far this season. Obviously, with the 18-point stretch to end the game last night against the Nuggets, and then tonight, 35 and 27. Stuff looks great. 2 blocks and a steal as well. A couple of good plays defensively. But depth can be a negative because when we get in these situations where Al Horford's not out or Al Horford's not playing, right, we're forced to go so deep into our bench with guard play. I mean, after Trayce Jackson-Davis on the bench, it's Guy Santos, Buddy Hield, Gary Payton, Moses Moody, Pat Spencer, Brandin Podziemski, Will Richard. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guards that we have getting legit. And like, you could say Guy Santos is a small forward, power forward. I consider him to be a 2 guard, truthfully, the way that he maybe plays a little bit bigger than a 2, but this is an issue. That's not going to get it done playing 7 smaller guards off the bench. And you look at the 2 guys that are coming back, D'Anthony Melton, Seth Curry, 2 more small guards. So the makeup of this roster without Al Horford is not looking amazing. Quinten Post is going to have to play better. He actually had the best plus minus of anyone on the starting lineup. Had 3 offensive rebounds. He was crashing the boards and then ended up hitting a 3. But him and Trayce Jackson-Davis just don't move the needle that much in the game. So while I'm remaining optimistic, right, I probably sound a little pessimistic right now throughout this video. I'm still very confident in the expectation of the season, but I think it's important and okay to acknowledge the fact that there are some concerning things with the understanding that when Al Horford is out, right, these second nights of a back-to-backs, any of the load management stuff where we're resting the old guys, this team is going to struggle. That's why this team won't be a 70-win team or a 60-win team probably, because we don't have the youth talent to be able to move this team forward on a night where the older guys are resting or not playing that well. Jimmy Butler Not super aggressive tonight, only gets 7 shots up, missed 2 free throws. Overall, free throw shooting has been great, though. 33 of 39. I mean, you'll take that every single night. But yeah, man, this one hurts because you start off the season really confidently, looking really good, 2-0 to kick off the year. And then you lose one to Portland, a team that's going to be a bottom feeder probably, and shakes your confidence. I do think Portland's going to be a competitive team this season. I think they'll find a way to win a lot of games just like this because they'll shock people based on the pace that they play with. They'll probably lead the league in pace because they play so ridiculously fast. They have absolutely no regard for slowing things down at all. But there are some concerns with this team as well. The starting unit didn't quite work to the way that we were hoping that it would, like it does with Al Horford instead of Quinten Post. So things are going to be okay. We're going to be fine, but this is concerning with looking at it from the perspective of, hey, when we don't have Al Horford, when we are having to play a lot of these younger guys heavy minutes like Pat Spencer and Will and some of these other guys, like when they're getting significant minutes, we're going to struggle. And we're going to lose a lot of games this year because we're tired. Like, that's just going to be the case. And we don't have the youth and athleticism that other teams do. But here's the thing. That doesn't matter in the playoffs, right? Once the playoffs comes, that's why we just have to find a way to be a top 6 seed and have everybody healthy going into the playoffs. Then, no back-to-backs, right? 2 to 3 nights of rest every single night, or a night or 2 to 3 nights of rest every single game in the playoffs. Find a way to just get to the finish line, make it to the playoffs with a healthy team, 6 seed or below, and I'll feel good about this team. But buckle up, folks, because there's going to be nights of frustration like this all season long because we don't have a team depth. We have a lot of depth on this team, but we don't have enough depth 3, 4, 5 position, groups to be able to compete with the younger athletic teams that are going to push us off the ball a lot throughout the night. So this is a frustrating one, and strap in for nights like this throughout the year because I think that we will have some struggle games like this. Even like efficiency wise wasn't terrible, but free throw percentage solid as well. Ended with 40 boards, assist numbers, steal numbers, not terrible, but we'll talk about turnovers at some point tonight too. You're not going to win a game with 25 turnovers against a young, fast team. Not going to happen. We got to clean that up as well. But I think the guys will get it done. Got to find a way to bounce back. We said if we could be 3-2 or 4-1 to start the season, I'd be happy. We still very much have the potential to do that. 2 home games coming up Monday against the Grizzlies, either Tuesday or Wednesday, can't quite remember, against the LA Clippers. Let's find a way to get it done. Clippers right now, by the way, blowing out the Phoenix Suns. Get blown out in the first game by the Jazz, blow out the Suns in game 2. Who knows what's going to happen with that old team as well. Anything can happen when you got guys 35 and up on your team. I've been Houston Boy. You guys have been the fans. Thanks so much for tuning in, and as always, go Dubs. Peace.